Football says, is Sam worried about the early kickoff tomorrow? Our record last season at 12:30 kickoffs last season was 0 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats. On to Liverpool. Go on, talk to me.
First of all, before we get to the Wolves game, I'm gonna answer Doug's question. Big up Doug for the super chat. First of all, let me start with Henderson because I've got to address this. Clip this up. So I just want this to be clipped up and posted on Twitter. Klopp is a FIFA bedwetting virgin who's never been to Anfield, and he doesn't understand what Henderson brings to this team. Because that is what I got told for a period of 2 years. We, people like myself, who said it's time to go for Henderson, get called every name under the sun, get called every word under the sun, and get called fake Liverpool fans, plastic fans. Oh, you weren't there during the tough times because we said sell Henderson. Guess what? It's all come around full circle. And guess who agrees with me yet again? Jurgen Klopp. Just like last summer, we didn't need any midfielder, and a year later, we bought 4. It shows you as proof. Jordan Henderson has the ego of R9 and the ability of Henderson, because I don't need to insult anyone else's ability. His ability alone is an insult. He has the ego of R9, the Brazilian Ronaldo, El Fenomeno, and he thinks he's that guy. Who are you to call out Jurgen Klopp, Jordan? He gave you a career. Had we bought Clint Dempsey, maybe it would have been better for us in the long run than keeping you. You're calling out Jurgen Klopp? Jurgen Klopp gave you a career. Jurgen Klopp took you from getting traded for an American Fulham player to becoming the captain of Liverpool when they were successful. And you're out here saying that, oh, no one at the club wanted me. I'm sorry you have zero self-awareness. I'm sorry you have the ego of R9. You think you're that guy. I'm so glad he's gone. I've never been happier to see the back end of people. And you have people calling me out on Twitter going like, oh, you know who the knobheads are? They're celebrating the fact that the captain is leaving the football club. Yes, I was celebrating. Yes, I was. And I get proven right every single time. You see it with your own eyes. Henderson calling out Klopp. And what did Klopp come out and say today? I couldn't tell him he was going to be the main man. I couldn't tell him. You know why? Because he watched Szoboszlai for one training session and he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Directly. I cannot deal with this Henderson guy anymore. I cannot deal with him anymore. I'm so glad we sold Henderson. And for Henderson to have the cheek to call out Jurgen Norbert Klopp, the guy that gave you a career. You're known because of this manager. Who are you? Who are you to call him out? The audacity, the disrespect to the greatest manager we've had in our lifetime, as Henderson. How dare you? Where is your self-awareness? When Dewsbury Hall was running through you, Leicester at home, like you were a bitch, like you didn't even exist on the pitch. Liverpool captain, we finished 5th. Absolutely dreadful performances week in, week out. By far the worst player in the whole team. And you're kind of calling out Klopp for selling you. You wanted to be the main man. You think Klopp is on a suicide mission? Where is your self-awareness? There's a reason why you play in Saudi Arabia now. So embrace it, shut the fuck up, and leave Liverpool Football Club alone. Now, speaking of tomorrow's game, Wolverhampton Wanderers. When it comes to Wolverhampton Wanderers, I am worried. The reason why I'm worried is not because it's Wolves. The reason why I'm worried is because it's a 12:30 fucking kickoff after the international break, and I hate 12:30 kickoffs after the international break. And we've had 12 games, 12:30 after the international break. McAllister was in Bolivia 30 hours ago. I don't know where Luis Diaz was, somewhere maybe in Peru or somewhere, I don't know where in Brazil. This is the problem. 12:30 kickoffs after international break, they scare me. They worry me. Now, do I expect Wolves to win? No, because Wolves, they don't know how to put the ball in the back of the net. That's their biggest problem right now. And they lost their best midfielder in Joao Moutinho. So I think that's going to be a little bit difficult for them. So for me, I look at Wolverhampton Wanderers, 12:30 kickoff time, noon. And I say Liverpool win, but we scrape it. And I think for Liverpool fans, I'm just saying something to all the Liverpool fans. Listen, you can call me negative all you want. You can call me the Liverpool League Gunner, the Liverpool Troops, the Liverpool blah, blah, blah. I've heard all of it before. I'm the Liverpool Hussam. Get used to it. because I call out shit 6 months before it happened. The channels that banned me, the spaces that banned me, the people that blocked me last summer were saying the same exact shit that I said 6 months later. To bar for bar, letter for letter, and Terry knows this and he saw it with his own eyes. What people were saying in January was what Don Hussam from Jordan, who knows fuck all, was saying 6 months before that when I kept talking about midfielder. And lo and behold, a whole year later, we signed 3 midfielders. I'm telling all Liverpool fans right now, embrace yourselves. The tough times are coming. Now, I don't think Wolves is going to be the start of the tough times. I still think we'll win. We'll scrape past them. But I think the tough times are coming because you guys need to understand. I just don't want everyone to have high expectations. I don't want everyone to have high, like just live in utopia and think we're going to get no prediction. We're not going to get no injuries. As soon as the injuries start hitting this team, that is where it goes downhill. So the tough times will come. I hope not a single Liverpool player gets injured, but I realize that the football is real life. Players will get injured. So when players get injured, once again, everything I say will happen to come true again. We will challenge and be the first team to fall off. And then once again, next summer I'll warn about these things, and then you call me negative again, and then you say blah, blah, blah. It's just the same cycle over and over again. So Liverpool love these 75% windows where we deal with 75% of what we need and then leave the 25%. And then when the 25% comes back to bite us in the ass, we all act shocked that the 25% bit us in the ass when people have been warning you about this 25% for a 4-month period during the summer. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Liverpool. Henderson needs to shut the fuck up, and tomorrow is going to be worrying. That's my thought.
I hear you. Baradon here says you're the Liverpool plastic because you're criticizing Henderson.
Henderson came for my manager. All I had to do was get his money at Saudi Arabia and just shut the hell up because my manager gave him a career.
Hussam, Klopp kept him in the first place.
I mean, that's literally been proven wrong via Klopp's press conference because he said Henderson wanted to be the main man and I couldn't tell him that. Fact. And now Henderson felt the need to criticize him, so hold that. Henderson just proved he's not a man of principle. He went against every single one of his principles, and he can hold that. So glad he's gone. So glad.
He's not your manager, is what Twisted Bubba said. That's a weird comment. I don't even understand that.
My manager. Who does he manage? Liverpool Football Club.
I don't know. Club. Bash here, long time no see. Bash says Liverpool still need at least 2 centre-backs and a DM. Will struggle in February and March. Big up Terry and Don. Terry wants to mention my country, Libya, which had a flooding disaster which took a lot of lives. Very sorry to hear that, bro. I didn't see that on the news. I don't actually watch the news. Very sorry to hear that about your country and obviously the people that have lost their lives. So I hope that situation gets resolved as quickly as possible for you and your people, brother. Thank you very much for that super chat.
And the first part of the super chat is the thing that I was saying all summer long, the 2DM and the centre-back thing. Hey,
yeah, and you definitely need that. But I have seen a lot of that for you where people have come for you when you've said you need things and they've really attacked you, and then those exact holes have been problems. But as I said before, communist Merseyside are a dangerous bunch. They're a dangerous
Some of them are from London. You'd be shocked.
Yeah, they're a weird bunch.
This year from says,
how come the best ever Premier League team has won Premier League, Sam?
You know, German chicken wing, I realized from your name, I should have known from your first super chat the type of person you are. This is what Terry calls weak dead banter that my 10-year-old cousin, who is a casual when it comes to football, could come and tell me. There's nothing. Have you ever heard me say Liverpool are the greatest ever Premier League team? No. So, like, you need to just get a grip, I'm going to be honest with you.
There we go. This here says that Terry now realize after years and years keep talking about City's huge money spent. Now Terry realizes 5 seasons United have spent 1.7 billion since Fergie left. Again, though, my friend, you've never heard me say, "Oh my God, look how much City spent. It's so much more than us, they're bastards." I've never ever once moaned about City spending. It's never come out my mouth. I've actually condemned my club and my owners and managers that have wasted 1.7 billion on players that we've spent more than City and we're nowhere near them. So again, you're just making things up that I have never said. Maybe that makes you feel, maybe instead of going, "Oh, Terry, you've been bang on about this," you have to just lie about what I haven't said. It's crazy. Terry and Don, managers are there to do jobs, gents.
Yes, they are. But they also need to do jobs based on what they're given. based on what happens. And this is the thing, Chike, that I've been talking about Chelsea for the last 2 weeks. I am giving a bunch of youngsters and a former Spurs managers who develops players to the most impatient fan base in the league. I don't get what's so hard to understand. They've already turned on Poch. You could see it in the chat. BA, who sent in super chats earlier, big up to him. He's turned on Poch already. CFC Roy, who we know comes on the terrace, doesn't even have financial gain. He also turned on Poch already. So this is the thing. Like, people are turning on said manager within 4 games.
Yeah. And Chike, managers have a job to do, but not every job is the same. Again, there's been a narrative that's been created, and I do believe it's been by a handful of content creators on socials, that managing football teams is the same everywhere you go. Listen, managing a Luton is a different kettle of fish than managing Man City. There is elements of managing City that's harder, and there's elements of managing Luton that's more difficult. They are not the same. So therefore, the judgment of those managers over the same exact periods of time, you have to look at the context and the situation of which they've walked into. That's normal in every other walk of life. It should apply to football. Maguire on loan to Liverpool in January. Yeah, that'd be a good move.
I would rather Terry come on loan to Liverpool.
I'd score an own goal every game for you lot. I would, and just take my money and run off into the sunset. Terry never made the money excuse like Hussam. I credit him that.
What money excuse?
About City spending money and it ain't theirs type thing.
No, but it's the reality. Santi, I just want you to, I don't know where you live, I just want you to go outside, walk in the street. Look at your neighbor's mailbox. Does it print money? Ask yourself. If it doesn't print money, then City have cheated.
Terry, do you actually think managers care about their clubs or just money? I think they care about winning. I think they care about the club. I think very few care about the clubs like the fans do. I think when they're there, I think if they're there a long time, they can. But I'll give you an example. Rio Ferdinand grew up I believe he was a West Ham fan as a kid. But he grew up in Southeast London, was a West Ham fan, played for West Ham, went to Leeds, then he joined Man United. Because of what he did at Man United and how long he was there, when he says when he speaks about football now, he speaks about Man United. That's his club. So I would actually say professional footballers are the only group of people that I would accept changing the team they supported as a kid, because it's a different kettle of fish working and falling in. Like Jamie Carragher was an Everton fan as a kid, I believe. He definitely supports Liverpool now, but that's because of how long he was there. It's different, right? So I think some people do care. I think Klopp cares and loves Liverpool. Do I think he cares about it as much as Liverpool fans? No. However, I think if he spends another 10 to 15 years there, I think that also may grow. But at the same time, it's also a job and a profession. So I don't think they'll ever love a club like a fan does, unless they're already a fan of that club. So I think David Beckham and Gary Neville care about Man United deeply. Although you may find that their love has slightly waned as they've got older because they own their own football clubs. And that maybe takes a lot of their passion away. So it's a difficult one. But yeah, I do think they care. But of course, money's a motivator as well. But I don't think it's polarized. I don't think they're just sitting there laughing every day at bad results as they're getting paid loads of money. So I don't necessarily think it's like that. I don't think, again, it's another one of those things which is a little bit open-ended. Depends on the manager, the team, the club, the amount of time they've been there. Yeah, there's no easy answer.